I did it. I did it. I finally did it. I did it. Hey everybody, I'm Cortez, and I'm a critic, and welcome. We're concluding the AFC North of the NFL 2026 Draft Recap. And I did it. We're here. We're finally here. And funny enough, I was complaining of this whole division, a lot of players. A lot. The Bengals come in with the fewest. So this video will be good. For me. But for Bengals fans, I think the question probably comes up. Do you feel that Joe Burrow's going to leave? He's going to pull an Andrew Luck and just disappear? So, because you guys have failed to protect him, I feel like he has done everything in his power to make you teams competitive, contenders. And it just feels like he's becoming injured more and more. And it's not like a Tua situation where Tua puts himself in danger sometimes, or Baker. It just feels like, dude, he's just trying to play quarterback and he gets hurt. And it just feels like eventually he'll be like, I'm done. I can't do this. Now, do I personally believe he will do it like Andrew Luck? No. But I'm like, you're pushing it. You guys are really, really pushing it. But this draft class, like last year's draft class, I don't know what to make of it. If Joe Burrow gets hurt, this rookie class can only do so much. Let's talk about the Bengals draft. So we all know that before the draft, they made a drastic trade for Dexter Lawrence. And they got him. They got their guy. Sure. Cool. Yeah. I mean, they did some acquisitions in free agency to address, so it's not complete loss. They opened their checkbooks very, very hard. They did better. I'm trying not to be mean, but the Bengals front office has always been known to be kind of cheap, kind of a little sleazy, a little lazy to evaluate, to pay, to acknowledge. And it just feels like it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. You know that. And we all remember that last year with their first round pick, how they just spent forever to try just to evaluate and get himself some chances. And yeah, it was Sherman Stewart. Yep, I am so glad we just dragged our feet the entire time trying to get himself signed. Yep, that was good. That was good. Yeah, fantastic. So, since you gave your first round pick to the Giants, thank you very much. You're back on the clock, and your first official pick is the second round. With the 41st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Cassius Howell, edge, Texas A&M. So what are we doing? What are we doing here? We're just collecting Texas A&M pass rushers. What makes Howell different from Stewart? They both were considered caliber rushers at A&M. So my question is, what makes him different from the other Texas A&M pass rusher you drafted with your first pick? And I mean, Miles Murphy is viewed as a starter. So, but funny enough, both Howell and Stewart are backups. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I felt like your biggest need was corner, lineman always, and maybe even linebacker. So my question is, What makes Howell different from Stewart? I don't know. I don't know. I believe that maybe the Trey Hendrickson situation called to get it. But my question still stands. What is different from Stewart and Howell? They both were the more promising pass rushers from Texas A&M. They were probably teammates. So what's the difference? Or is it because Trey Hendrickson is no longer a Bengal, you kind of had to at least address it? But like, then what was Stewart? Okay, we're just going back in circles here and talking to a wall. Literally. But you addressed the pass rush, you lost the pass rush. I will commend for that. But what's the difference? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So we go to the third round with the 72nd overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals selected Tacario Davis, corner, Washington. Okay, you addressed the secondary. Fantastic. I'm happy for you. He has a few injuries that I came across, and I'm still very high on him. But I thought maybe you would go with McCoy, a little bit more of an upside. Maybe go with him. In my memory, no, yeah, he was a day 3 or day 3. I don't remember. I forgot where he was picked up, but I thought maybe you would make the risk for him. But Davis is not as coming in as injured, but he does have with separate injuries, and has a elite length for cornerback position, so good wingspan. 6'3", 194. That's good, solid size. You're in a very tough AFC conference, so definitely want to address against those big receivers, especially if you guys do make the playoffs. So I don't know, guys. This pick feels like I'm trying to find positive when I feel like I'm not sold on it. I don't feel very confident. I'm hoping the injuries do not come back to bite you. But yeah. Injuries be damned. If he plays to the level he is, he'll make up for it. Very well. And do they currently have Davis where? They have him behind Dax Hill on the left cornerback side right now. So we'll see what he does in training camp. Hopefully he doesn't get too injured or at all. And we'll see when he makes plays in preseason. Get actual game experience and see how he develops. That's the best you can hope for right now. Then we go to the fourth round with the 128th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals selected Connor Lew, center, Auburn. Interior offensive lineman. He's ranked 4th best in his position. Are they keeping him at center or are they moving him to guard? Survey says they're currently keeping him at center behind Ted Karras, the starting center right now. Let me see. Look, Ted is 33. So maybe that was why. Maybe Connor is meant to be the potential replacement in time for when Ted. He's 33 as an offensive lineman. Still good, he's still playing, but 33 an interior offensive lineman, bad knees, grueling practices, X, Y, or Z. So maybe this was meant for the future. So more than likely Connor will stay at the center position. And he is ranked 4th in his position. So not bad. Played well. Now he is still recovering from an ACL injury he got in October. So good, more of a reason not to pressure him to come forward. More time for him to develop. More time to rest, to recover. So good. This feels like an investment for the future, and let's hope Joe Burrow is still around to embrace that investment. Still in the 4th round with the 140th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Colby Young, wide receiver, UGA. This one I was surprised the Bengals would do. I mean, Higgins and Chase were solid, and Colby Young, it just seemed like another... Hold on, I gotta fix my camera. I think I bumped it. There we go. I bumped it and it's bugging me. I'm kind of off. There we go. Fix that. So this one, Kind of like what the Bucks did last year. We had Godwin, we had Evan, we had McMillan, and then we get Mbuka. And good thing we did. It just feels that we don't really need a wide receiver, but it's like, but he's right there. He's right there. Colby Young was one of those wide receivers that I thought Tampa was going to get, but then we got another Georgia college player in Georgia State's Ted Hurst, so we're good. But they're both were 6'4", solid X receivers. That's what we're looking for. And to me, I think, let me see. I think Colby. Let me look at the other wide receiver. Chase is 6 foot even, and Higgins is 6'4". Okay, so yeah, I feel like Colby, he's currently viewed as the backups to them, but do not be surprised if Colby becomes, the third best receiver in this receiving class. It's going to help out, especially if you start getting attention, but I feel like we have another good, strong 50-50 possession receiver in Colby Young out of Georgia. I think this is another good pickup, and it should make Joe Burrow happy if he lives long enough to throw the ball before getting hurt again. All right, then we go to the 6th round with the 189th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals selected Brian Parker II, center Duke. No, he's going to be somewhere else. Exactly. Brian Parker II is moving to left guard behind Dylan Fairchild. I knew one of the centers were moving to guard. I didn't know if it was the Duke one or the Auburn one, but yes. So Brian Parker II moving because Dylan Fairchild, he was drafted last year. So I think, why don't they move him to right? Yeah, Dalton Razor's in his 30s. I thought maybe they might move him to that, but to me, that is where I'm feeling about it there. It's like that's where they're going to move into. But the interior offensive lineman seems to be solid. Seems to be a solid, acquisition there. So to me, I'm looking forward to it. I like it. I'll accept it. I'll move on with that. So, yeah, interior offensive lineman. Trust me, I've seen that sometimes we neglect the interior offensive lineman, but if those big 300-pound rushers can run through, and then those linebackers that blitz through the gaps kill your quarterback much faster than any hybrid T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett can get you on the edges. Just saying, the quickest direction is straight ahead. Then we go to the 7th round with the 221st overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. The Cincinnati Bengals selected Jack Edries, tight end, Texas. Edries? I hope I pronounced it right. Tight end. Mike Gillespie and Drew Sample have been around. So I get it. We need to potentially address. And, they got Tanner Hudson. Cool. Jack, where do they have you? Seventh ranked in his position, 6'4", 245, big solid receiver. That's kind of cool. He was Fernando Mendoza's top receiver option at Cal before transferring to Texas. Okay, so he's basically short. Are they going to move him to a fullback? Is that what they're going to do? Are they going to move him to a fullback? Let me take a look. I don't see his name. Let me take a look here. No, he still views as a tight end. I just don't see him on the depth chart. So that's where I feel like we'll see him be there. So that's where I will be. And yeah, good evaluation, good pickup. All right, and now we will conclude with the Bengals' last pick in the 7th round. With the 226th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Bengals did me the greatest honor in drafting Landon Robinson, defensive tackle, Navy. Another midshipman gets drafted. For those of you that are unaware, because watch the Steeler video, I am a big Navy fan. Navy is my college team. I bleed blue and gold. Go Navy, beat Army, pop, 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 pop. I go to the game. I watch them beat UCF. I watch them beat USF. Navy, 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 Navy. I go to Army Navy games every season. I am a Navy by blood. My family served. I didn't. But I still support the midshipmen, always. And for us Navy fans, seeing, any service academy getting drafted is awesome. But for those of you that aren't familiar, and maybe some Bengal fans are unfamiliar, Landon Robinson was not only one of the better defensive linemen in the American Conference, and that's not saying too much for some people. Oh, the American Conference. Robinson was not just a nose guard. What? He was the guy that will get the direct snaps on fake punts. And he would rumble like Jerome Bettis in prime. Seriously, watch Robinson highlights, especially the special teams. This guy just so happens to play nose guard for the Navy midshipmen because of weight and height restrictions, because of service academy regulations. But I want him to succeed, but there's a good chance that my dude is playing uphill battle right now. I mean, I'm glad he got drafted. He'll forever be known as a drafted college player for the rest of his life. But Landon Johnson's coming in at 6 foot 287. He is incredibly short. Incredibly short. If somehow he can cut 30 pounds, maybe he can try at linebacker. But he is very undersized. And maybe this was at best special teams player. I don't see the Bengals being a charity for that. But I feel like he has a long role. He's 6 even, man. 6 even. But he's talented. He is way more athletic than his position than he was. Like I said, he was the direct snapper on multiple successful punt fakes. He's more athletic than his position and his build. Trust me. I seen it firsthand. If you don't believe me, watch some of his highlights. Yes, the American Conference. Yes, there's situations. Yes. But seriously, I just don't see the Bengals waiting to pick on a player that they feel this knit for. So to me, that's how I feel. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the entire Bengal draft class. Player I'm most excited about. I'm not going to say Robinson. That's a little too cheesy because I am being very realistic, even though I am rooting for him. The player I am most excited about, I'm going to say Colby Young. Because I feel like this is a steal. If the Bengals and Joe Burrow stay healthy, Colby Young is going to contribute. Now, granted, with Chase and Higgins, he won't have the numbers, but don't be surprised if he had 500 yards, 33 catches, 2 touchdowns, averaging about 6 yards a catch, something like that. A good rookie. I feel like he will get his fair share and he will make do for it. So I feel like this is the steal for the Bengals. But all that comes down to the quarterback, all it comes down to the injuries, all comes down to how the Bengals work. And honestly, the question, what's the difference between Howell and Stewart? What's the difference with airplane food? So, grade for the Bengals. Even with this draft class, I can't really call you guys contenders. Because contenders, that injury variable, and I'm going based on the draft. Better. I think this draft class makes you guys better to the players you already have. I don't see this group of young men to come in and be like, well, they offer really nothing because most of them are 99% backup, so they're just there for the next 2 or 3 years down the line, not this coming season. So I'll give the Bengals better. You guys look better, you guys sound better, but for the love of God, someone tell me the difference between Howell and Stewart and why this is the right choice. Tell me. If it's because of Trey Hendrickson, no, that's an excuse. That's a cover. I want to know. Why did you draft another pass rusher from Texas A&M again with your first overall pick? Or your first pick? Confusing me. And that's the Bengals. We are down to 2 divisions. Since we're in the AFC, we're going to the NFC. And the last NFC team is the NFC South. And we'll start the discussion of the NFC South with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to go to my hometown Buccaneers to see what did this draft class. Did we address it? Did we get lucky? I was born in the draft. And maybe we got our own backbreaker. But that's for the future. But until next time, I'm Cortez and I'm a critic. Thank you so very much for watching.